When local college basketball expert Shelby Mast puts together his schedule, he has one media appearance he writes in Sharpie, etches in stone. It's not with USA Today or with radio stations across the country. It is right here with me. So Shelby, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So let's talk about this year and when projecting the NCAA Tournament for 2018 and which seeds they're going to get. What's different about this year?
The committee this year has changed the way they are evaluating these teams. In the past, it's pretty much been RPI and maybe a few other things, but they've thrown a whole bunch of metrics in at coaches' requests, at Ken Palm, KPI, ESPN, their requests. So they got together last year, put all this stuff. Now I'm trying to figure out how they evaluate all this stuff. That's going to make things a little bit different because it's a bit of an unknown.
Analytics, that sounds like something that I would enjoy. Yeah. So a lot of teams of interest around here are out of their conference tournaments. What seeds are possible? Let's start with TCU here. They have a top 10 strength of schedule, so what are their possibilities?
I'm thinking they're going to end up in the 6 to 7 line. They're done now. They can't help themselves anymore, and they can't hurt themselves anymore. I feel good putting them 6 or 7 right now.
As we go rapid fire here, Texas finished 7th out of 10 teams in the Big 12. Where do you have them?
I've got them right now on the 10 line. They could move down based on other teams' results. I don't see them moving up. And they could end up being out. I think they've done enough to get in, though.
Play-in game is certainly a possibility.
Possibility, yes.
So Oklahoma, also part of that logjam, finished 9th, also with an 8-10 Big 12 record, same as Texas. Where do the Sooners go, you think?
I've got them. They're probably going to be a double-digit seed as well. I've got them on the 9 line right now, but things with all these conference tournaments are up in the air, so it's kind of just a placeholder. My bracket is incomplete as of right now.
Oklahoma State, one of your first 4 out. Its non-conference schedule really was its undoing. Can they get in at all?
The committee throws curveballs every now and again, and they could with Oklahoma State. What hurts them, their non-conference, the bottom 5 teams on their conference have a combined record of 25 and 122, and the RPI is based on your record and your opponent's records. So that really drags their RPI down. If the committee overlooks those games, then they're a 500 team and probably not getting in.
Texas Tech playing right now. Any chance they earn a 1 seed?
I don't think they can get a 1 seed. I have them on the 4 line right now. I can see them, if they win this tournament, they could get to the 3 line. I'm comfortable with them as a 4 right now.
What about Baylor?
I think Baylor is headed to the NIT. They had some nice wins, but I just don't think they did enough this year.
Texas A&M suffered a free fall after a top 10 ranking early in the season. So even though they're 20-12, you have a pretty good seed for them.
Yeah, I think they're going to be in that 6 to 7 range as well. They have a lot of good wins, and they played a very tough out-of-conference schedule, which the committee stresses. So I think they're going to be okay.
UT Arlington certainly win the conference and in. If they don't, then they're certainly not making it. No. And I'll answer SMU for you.
Okay.
They're certainly not getting in. As it stands right now, who is in your Final Four, and who do you think will win the national championship?
Well, I'm a Duke fan. Everybody knows that. They're playing awfully good right now. They've got Carolina tonight, 3rd time this season. I think they've got the talent to get there. I also think Arizona has the talent, even with their off-court issues. My preseason championship game was Duke-Arizona, and I'm going to stick with that.
All right. Any teams of note you feel like could make a run, maybe including the teams in our area?
I think Houston has got a good shot. If they get a good draw, they could make a decent run. They've got a good team, good coach, experienced coach. With the right draw, they could make a little run. And one thing to watch for: don't be surprised if A&M or Arkansas ends up playing Texas in the first round.
That would be delicious, wouldn't it?
That would be nice.
And especially with Dallas hosting some games in the first and second rounds.
Yes. It may not be here, but I could see that matchup happening because of the way they break out these pods according to geography.
Oh, that would be terrific. Shelby Mast, part of bracketwag.com and bracketwag on Twitter. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
And I'm Edward Egros, Fox 4 Sports.